Pay attention. On the subway, the girl pulled down her skirt, while the man opposite her kept staring at her. She peeked at him in fear. Next second, the man acted even more boldly. He stood up, moved closer, and even he spoke to her with a flirtatious smile. "Can I stand here?" The girl was scared and had to say yes. The more afraid the girl was, the more he was excited and reckless. At the moment, a girl sitting not far away couldn't stand it any longer, taking out the mobile phone to take a picture of what happened. But her action was found by the man. He turned to the girl and threatened her to delete the picture. He asked the girl to give him her phone. The other strong men on the subway pretended not to see. None of them dared to come out to stop him. But some women seemed to start to pay attention. After deleting the pictures, the gangster deliberately threw the phone on the ground. The girl could only endure the humiliation to pick up the phone. Another passenger behind her, holding a mobile phone, walked to the gangster slowly. She told him directly that she was not taking a photo, but live streaming on TikTok. And now all his words, deeds, are seen by thousands of people on the internet. The man was furious and began to threaten the woman to put down the phone, but she insisted to hold it high and shot at his face. Not only this woman, but also several other female passengers took out their mobile phones and shot the man. The woman told him what he did has been recorded as proof. The audiences on the internet has called 911. When the subway arrived, policemen were waiting there for him.
The sculpture's fingers slowly oozed black liquid, followed by arms and eyes. As the liquid increased, the crowd sensed something unusual. The police took the sculpture for examination, confirming only the victim's identity, finding no clues. Shortly after, another human statue appeared in the square. Examining the crime scene photos, the police spot a suspicious man wearing an eye patch. The suspect hadn't been found yet when another incident occurred. When the police arrived at the scene, the crowd started to stir. Several guys were chasing the eye-patched man. The bad guy wielded an axe, chopping off his arm, and then picked it up. Do you think the eye-patched man is the killer? After the guy jumped off the building, his body miraculously healed. It turned out the man had a powerful ability to self-heal. A month ago, organ traffickers grabbed him for dissection. While the doctor was on the phone, the man's body was quickly recovering. He popped in an eyeball, searching for the second one when the doctor caught him. He had to escape by jumping out of the window. After that, he kept seeing flashes of the killer's moves in his head. Suspecting his other eyeball was in the killer found the doctor, learned about the man's superpowers, and decided to meet up. When the man saw the killer, he immediately charged at him. Even surviving several gunshots, he retrieved his eyeball from the killer. He prepared to stab the killer with a knife. The cop arrived just in time to stop him. He fled the scene immediately, but strangely, tentacles started growing from the killer's eye sockets. The woman unbuttons her clothes, discovers a big hole in her breast, big enough to pass her hands through. Frightened, she covers her chest, decides to go to the hospital. However, as she sits down to rest, her shoe suddenly falls to the ground because her feet have turned into wooden sticks. To avoid being noticed by passers-by, she quickly puts her legs down. When she unbuttons her clothes again, the hole in her chest becomes even bigger. She speeds up her pace, but as she walks, the other leg also turns into a wooden stick. Annoyed, she kicks off her shoes, and her pants fall down, revealing two sexy slender legs. Now the woman's lower half has turned into a chair, but she continues to walk steadily, as if she's a genius walking on stilts. She keeps moving forward. Ultimately, she transforms into a complete chair. Would you like to take a seat? In the evening, a homeless man walked by, deciding to take the chair home. Just as he was about to drag it away, the woman changed back, quickly took off her clothes and ran forward. When she saw someone at the station, the woman quickly hid. As soon as the person turned around, she only found a chair in the corner. Then a man got off the bus. Looking at the chair, the man took it home. After the man went to work, she transformed back into a person, watered the plants, took a bath, transformed back when the man returned home. Although the man felt something strange, when he turned around, he couldn't see anything. If the homeless man had taken the girl away, how do you think the girl would be doing now? A woman was soaked in bleach, lifted up. The guy put her on a platform, cleaned her with hot water at -30 degrees. Then, the guy put a chain around himself, hoisted himself up by pulling. After using the woman, the man turned her into an ice sculpture. One day ago, the woman had just finished work, getting ready to drive home. Accidentally, she hit a dog. She got out of the car to check, but found no injuries on the dog. Suddenly, a man appeared, took the girl away. Then, the dog woke up. Based on the dog fur found at the crime scene, the police identified the suspect. However, when the police arrived, the suspect had lost consciousness. The police had to take him to the hospital. Do you think the police should save him? The sink suddenly burst open, filling the room where the woman was trapped. In another hour, her body would be put into bleach, turning her into an ice sculpture. But the criminal who knew where the woman was has lost consciousness. To rescue the woman, the police had to dive into the criminal's thoughts. In his thoughts, the police discovered a little boy. He's been mistreated by his dad since he was little, so he has a split mind, but he still holds a bit of goodness. When the police touched the dream horse, the boy pushed her away, because in the next second, the glass would shatter the horse into pieces. Under the influence of the police, the little boy revealed the victim's location. The victim was successfully rescued. However, the perpetrator of the case, due to taking an overdose of sleeping pills, never woke up again. In the soup, there was a tattoo of human skin when the guy was drinking it. This was the hottest restaurant in school. Many wondered if the owner added something special. Jack, eager for attention, went live and rushed into the kitchen to search everywhere, ignoring the owner's protests. He even knocked over the pot of soup, but the owner quickly hid a white package to find out what's inside. Jack sneaked into the kitchen at night and found the package on the table. He cautiously opened it and was shocked to find a head inside. Turns out, the owner made the soup using skulls. Jack, now knowing the soup's secret, got killed by the owner. The next day, students found the soup even more delicious, until they spot Jack's tattoo on the meat. After watching this, would you still dare to have soup? The girl picked up the chicken leg and reached it towards the back of her head. In an instant, only a bone remained. It was a magical and eerie castle, where every child possessed superpowers. The fire girl could boil water with her bare hands. The nature girl could accelerate the growth of plants. The strong girl could effortlessly lift 500 pounds of carrots. And the wind girl could fly by taking off her 1,000-pound shoes. Peregrine was a time-traveling bird with the ability to control time. She also managed the children's home, carefully selecting the safest day to create a 24-hour time loop to protect the kids inside. But their peaceful life was disrupted by the arrival of a boy. Jack, while exploring, stumbled upon a dilapidated building. As he curiously entered, a girl suddenly appeared, startling him into a hasty retreat, only to accidentally knock himself unconscious. The girl carried him over to the group. Seeing Jack harmless, they took him to the children's home. Peregrine warmly welcomed Jack, introducing the kid's superpowers. She then invited Jack to join the time reversal ceremony. That night, they gathered in the garden, all wearing protective masks. Peregrine pulled out a pocket watch. Then a few fighter jets soared overhead. A missile headed for the castle. At the last moment before impact, Peregrine pressed the watch, freezing time. Then she started rewinding it. Everything returned to how it was before. Their time began a new loop. Turns out, they were doing all this to evade those monsters. The monsters would dig out the eyes of those with superpowers and serve them up to the bad guys.